Hey Internet, it's me Dom with another exciting DVD review. I'm here this week with a special guest, my buddy Dan.
How's it going, Internet?
Dan is my authority friend on all things Transformers, or at least my biggest dork friend when it comes to the subject of Transformers, and I thought of no one better for this week because I would like to do a special on Transformers.
Great.
So anyway, it's all started, the idea for this episode, with a little purchase of this at Target. It was on sale. It's the first season of Transformers, the animated series, all the way back from 1984. Dan, you remember watching these when you were a kid?
I do. It's kind of hazy, but yeah, it was great to watch them again. It was very reminiscent, I guess. But
Did you find that the thing that you don't remember like half the shit from the show, and when watching it, you're like, man, I must have been a really fucking dumb kid.
yeah, I thought that too. I was like, I can't believe like I was so into them when I was a kid, because like there's a lot of like disjointed happenings in the plot. Like a lot of shit doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all. And there's, first of all, like, the difference from the animated series to the movies is that they can fly in the animated series like everybody. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you transform into an airplane or a fucking semi-truck. You can fly.
Yeah.
Every one of them can fly. And so there's these times when they're just falling down a cliff and you're just like, why don't they fly away? But they don't, because it's just better for them to crash and smash themselves up. But I mean, that's what we're going for, right? Kids are dumb. They don't, think of it. And so Hasbro was just trying to sell toys. And so this was a tie-in to their toy sales. And so I commend them for their, aggressive 30-minute commercial advertising each week.
Would you still recommend it?
I would recommend it for anyone who's a fan of the series or Transformers in general. A fan of 80s cartoons. I love this shit because it makes me feel like a kid again. I am a big kid. It came with an awesome magnet. It has some great special features, 16 episodes. You watch them, you feel like a kid again, kick back. The animation is great. Some Korean children in the 80s must have been slaving for days to make these episodes. I wonder why animation today can't be this good, But we've been talking about that a little too long now. Let's talk about what we're really here for. Transformers, Michael Bay's project that he's been working on here. This is from 2006. This is the first movie. We'll talk about that because you got to talk about the prequel before the sequel.
Did you think that movie was just like a glorified GM commercial? It was pretty overboard, I thought.
Do you mean with like just the Camaro, Bumblebee, and Ironhide being like a big like?
Yeah, exactly. Like the product placement and it being everywhere all the time, and I don't know. I mean, I just lost a little edge. Although it was awesome to see the Transformers on the big screen, and with the CGI, it was pretty good, Sometimes it wasn't so good. There was a lot of fast action in the dark. Did you like those parts?
No, I had a serious problem with the fast action in the dark because movies like that weird me out, where like all the action is like done into a dark space, and you only get like glimmers, and you have to like use your mind's eye kind of, or slow it down, or watch it like 3 or 4 times to really see what's going on. I had a problem with that, and. And my other big problem with this movie was the missing characters from when I was a kid. The ones I liked the most were missing. They didn't, we didn't see, there was Starscream, but we didn't have any Thundercracker. We didn't have any Skywarp. We didn't have any Soundwave.
Yeah,
we didn't have
Megatron.
We didn't have like some of the best characters from the show.
And there were a couple differences that I didn't really like the fact that Megatron didn't turn into a gun.
Yeah.
What did you think about that?
Well, here's the thing. From the original cartoon show, like I said, they all could fly. Another thing that never made any fucking sense either was that huge 80-foot robots, or I don't think they're 80 feet, but like huge 20-foot robots could shrink down to the size of a boombox. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, matter doesn't, even if they had incredible folding technology, that you can't fit a fucking huge robot into the size of a boombox, and so it just physically, again, kids are dumb, and but with the movies, Michael Bay tackled that more, and he didn't let Megatron turn into a gun, he instead turned into a helicopter. Wasn't
I don't know. It was like a weird fighter jet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
It was pretty impressive.
It was a great movie, and I'm glad it was able to spawn the sequel. So let's talk about the sequel now. This is a little bit of a spoiler alert, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, we're highly recommending it.
Yep.
But
awesome.
go watch it. Don't listen to the rest of this. Just go see it.
Yeah, and I warn anybody going to see this movie, Dom, about like watching it for the plot. Like,
Well, I'm
honestly, if you're going to see Transformers, you're going to see big ass robots transform, fight each other, and then transform again. You know?
Yeah, don't go for the plot. I mean, we're not Siskel and Ebert here. This isn't Braveheart. This isn't anything to like change your viewpoints on existence.
No.
There's some just great action scenes. Specifically,
Exactly.
Anyone who's already seen the movie or wants to know, the best scene I think of is the fight between Optimus and the 3 Decepticons in the forest, where he gets fucking just owned, but he puts up a fierce fucking fight, man.
Yeah.
And I really wish the movie would have had more interaction between the actual Transformers themselves and even the humans, because I felt like a lot of time they were just transporting cars everywhere, and it was like you said, like that GM commercial feel, where it's just a commercial for more.
What did you think of the new characters?
The new characters were a big improvement because we got to bring in.
Jetfire was awesome, I thought.
We got to bring in Soundwave.
Yeah.
But they changed the dynamics again. Like we talked about Megatron transforming into a helicopter or a jet or whatever. And now his new version turns into a flying tank. And also Soundwave used to turn into a boombox, but he instead now is a giant orbital satellite.
Yeah.
But he still has his variety of utility transformers that like he can spit out, but he didn't have a wide variety like he did on the TV show. Because like on the TV show, he used to have like Rumbler and like Ravage. Ravage was in the movie, but
Ravage was awesome.
But there was no Laserbeak. And there was no...
but we got to see a lot of new Transformers, though. I mean, to fit all those other characters in there would have been a little much, I thought.
Now, on a side note, while we're talking about it, there's probably going to be a third movie. Now, do you think the villain of this is going to be our most favorite Transformer of all?
I believe so, and I hope so. I'll be incredibly disappointed if the villain isn't Unicron! And if Leonard Nimoy is still around, he should definitely do the voice.
Or James Earl Jones.
Or James Earl Jones.
Unicron is a symbol to a lot of...
Darth Vader is Unicron. That would be so awesome.
But Unicron, man, is for you out there who aren't familiar, he is a transformer the size of a planet or large...
That's pretty much what he transforms
into a planet.
And
he transforms into a very large robot or a planet. And he eats planets to fuel his never-ending quest. He's kind of like Galactus from the Marvel Silver Surfer series, if you're familiar with him. He needs planets to survive, and my favorite shit was like in the animated 80s movie when he was like, "Oh shit, it's Unicron!" Everyone knew it was just a Bad News Bears when Unicron showed up. So I'm hoping that the great power in the third movie is going to be Unicron. And maybe we might even see the return of the Dinobots.
hopefully, Grimlock.
In the second movie, we did also see some other great ones we didn't mention. The Constructicons, a.k.a. Devastator, makes an awesome appearance in this movie.
Yes.
He's kind of pivotal to the end plot. Mm-hmm. There was no Astro Train, unfortunately, with the big purple flying train from the 1850s.
Yeah.
There was no Thundercracker. There was no Skywarp. So that sucks. But there was more of a relationship between Soundwave or Starscream and Megatron and their power struggle. So that's a homage to the TV show. We're getting close to 10 minutes here. I just want to tell you, next week we're going to be reviewing Watchmen, the extended 27 minutes. And please rate, subscribe, comment. I'm going to be also putting some videos up from San Diego Comic-Con. I'm leaving in like 6 hours to fly down there. So stay tuned, and we love you. So please, holler back.